In this video, we're going to evaluate piecewise-defined functions. They give you this piecewise function, f of x equals negative x minus 2, where the domain is less than 0. And they also give you x, where the domain is 0 to 3, and then x squared minus 1, when your domain is greater than or equal to 3. So first thing we should do is write that this is the domain values. And this is the function values. And then I like to mark out to the left here that the top equation, like this is the first row, basically, so this function goes with this domain. The second function goes with this domain, and the third function goes with this domain. And if we're going to evaluate this piecewise defined function, basically all they're asking us to do is to plug in values into the function and find out what the y values would be. So let's pick some values that are in the top domain, some values that are in the middle domain, and some values that are in the bottom domain. So we're going to start by plugging in f of negative 10. I'll plug in f of, let's do f of negative 1. We'll plug in f of 0, f of 2, f of 3, and f of 7. This should hit at least 2 points in each one of these domains. We'll start with the first one. We got negative 10. Is negative 10 less than 0? Yes. You could check here, is negative 10 between 0 and 3? That's no. Is negative 10 greater than or equal to 3? No. So the only piece of this piecewise function that we can use is the top function. So we're going to plug in negative 10 into the top function. And we get negative 10, which is positive 10 minus 2. So we get 8, which would give us a coordinate of negative 10 comma 8. Then we're going to plug in negative 1. Negative 1 is less than 0. Negative 1 is not between 0 and 3. And negative 1 is definitely not greater than 3. So we, again, can only use the top equation to evaluate this. So we have negative 1 minus 2, which will give you 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. So I get negative 1 for a coordinate. Now we're going to plug in 0. So this is a tricky one because it says 0 less than 0. Well, that's not true, so the top equation cannot be used. 0 is not a part of that domain. But the middle equation, 0 greater than or equal to 0, yes, that's true. 0 less than 3, yes, that's true. And then is 0 greater than or equal to 3? No. So we can't use the top or bottom equation. We got to use the middle one. The middle one is x, so I end up just plugging 0 in for x. And so that'll give me 0, 0. 2 is between 0 and 3 still, right? It's not less than 0, it's not greater than 3, so it's just the middle equation. Again, I get 2 when I plug it in for x, and I get 2 comma 2. And then I plug in 3. 3 is not a part of the middle domain because 3 is not less than 3, but 3 is greater than or equal to 3. So we can use the bottom equation, and that would be 3 squared minus 1, which equals 9 minus 1, which is 8. So my coordinate there is 3 comma 8. And then I'm going to plug in 7. I look at 7 greater than or equal to 3. 7 is greater than 3, so I got to use the bottom equation again. I got 7 squared minus 1. 7 squared is 49 minus 1, which is 48. So my coordinate there would be 7 comma 48. And that's how you evaluate piecewise defined functions.